Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some clips from Fat Doctor UK. One of which she claims fat people live longer. Not just as long as, but straight up longer. We're going to find a lot of spicy hot takes in the clips contained within. And oh so much bitterness. This is bitterness levels off the chart. I'm pretty sure that I haven't reacted to any of these clips previously, but if I have, apologies. At some point, it is inevitable that my brain will just turn off and not even recognize that I've seen this clip before, because they're all just going to run into one long clip. Like when it seems like your life is just one long day that never ends and you just pray for sleep. Let us examine this post-haste with the applying of comb to mustache. Alright, she's going to respond to this comment that reads, "Then why are there no obese 80-year-olds? A very valid point. There might be some people who are fairly overweight that make it to that age, but no one who is obese, and definitely not morbidly obese." In fact, another fat activist just died at a very young age. I believe it was 37. Michelle just made a video about that. A lot of them seem to be dying around the age of 40. We got 37, 42, 40, XYZ. You can keep looking them up. There are, she says. Alright, well, I guess we're done here. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting. What? No. I remember these old commercials. I believe it was for Keystone Beer, and they would always talk about the bitter beer face.
In fact, there's more and more and more every year.
This person is one of the most demeaning, bitter, full of vitriol people within this movement.
That's because fat people live longer than people. Did you not hear what I just said?
What you just said right now? Oh, well, that settles it then. You just said that fat people live longer than thin people. And your evidence is, did you not hear what I just said? Well, I'm going to say that thin people live longer than obese people. My source? Did you not hear what I just said? I just said it. It just came right out of my freaking mouth, dude. Need I say more? Okay, and that's the end of her argument on that matter. Honestly, that's just as valid as citing fluffykittenparty.org. Just saying, "'cause I said so," is literally just as valid. Because fluffykittenparty.org is a joke. If it were .com, we could take it seriously. Am I ever going to stop making that tired-ass joke? No, I'm not. People love repetition. People love repetition. People love repetition. Next. Alright, a lot of these are going to be her responding to comments, because those are the funniest ones. Like, back before she turned comments off, every single comment was just taking the piss out of her. And every time she would respond with just the most negative, bitter stuff that you've ever seen, man. It's freaking amazing. Go look at her older videos. Every single one of them is just her being super angry that somebody had the audacity to question her. And the comment reads, "Fat shaming is terrible, but obesity celebrating won't help anyone either." I like that term, obesity celebrating, because that's what we've got here lately. A whole bunch of people celebrating obesity and all of its negative ramifications, or pretending like they don't exist. Actually, if you're obese, it means you can fly. From now on, yeah, it gives you superpowers, actually. You're more likely to survive a heart attack, you'll live longer, it'll help develop your third eye.
I'm assuming that this person is a health professional, though they're not willing to say.
Yeah, a lot of people used to think that you were a health professional too, until they suspended your license or fired you from the hospital or whatever happened. This person does not practice medicine anymore.
And quite frankly, they're just proving my point for me, which is really helpful.
They're proving your point for you by saying fat shaming is terrible, but obesity celebrating won't help anyone either. Okay, what point were you trying to make that they just proved? Are we in the same conversation? Are you responding to this comment or the voices in your head?
Fancy a health professional using words like obesity celebration. How completely and utterly ignorant must you be?
Okay, but are you going to refute anything that they said or just attack them personally? because they do have a point that celebrating obesity is not helping anyone, and neither is fat shaming.
To accuse somebody like me of quote-unquote celebrating obesity.
You said that fat people live longer, and you've also said that it's impossible to lose weight. 95% of diets fail. All the same talking points that the others have said, she has also said ad nauseum.
What exactly does that even mean? Do you understand how stigmatizing and offensive that term is?
Okay, so that's your argument. Nothing. You didn't refute what they said at all. You're like, do you even know what that means? Like, all you do is belittle people with your arrogant attitude, and nothing of actual value is ever said.
No, I suppose not, because actually, when you were talking about what you would do with a man whose arm was severed and needed surgery, you said, I would tell him that his weight puts him at a higher risk of dying.
What? When did they say? When did they say that part? What? That's quite the stretch that you made there, that little fantasy scenario that you got from this little comment here. So you're implying that the person that left this comment would not help somebody because they were obese if their arm was severed? Let's see, what does it say again? It says, fat shaming is terrible, but obesity celebrating won't help anyone either. So your comment, again, makes no sense. I feel like we're not in the same conversation.
And if that's what you say to your patients whose arms are hanging off, then I question whether or not you should be a doctor.
Why would they say this particular comment when somebody's arm was hanging off? What are you talking about? What? Bruh. What does any of this have to do with the price of tea in China? What are you talking about? So you're saying that if a man's leg was hanging off, you wouldn't help him because he was obese? That is not at all what they said, madam. What are you talking about? I honestly think this person might not be all there.
At all. I'm so glad I don't work with you.
Yeah, because you don't work in a hospital at all anymore. Or so I've heard. I'm sure everyone's glad they don't work in a hospital with you. You go around spreading all this dangerous misinformation. Next. Alright, here they are again with a genuine smile on their face, responding to this comment that reads, Jesus Christ, I'm gay and still think you are everything wrong with this correctness gone mad. It's pathetic. Your tone is filled with such arrogance. You forgot vitriol. It's also filled with vitriol.
Is it arrogance or confidence?
Arrogance. 100%. The way that you just said that statement was completely arrogant. It's like you can't turn it off. Is it arrogance or confidence? Clearly it's confidence. This isn't arrogant at all, you peasants. You peasants! How dare you question me? I was a doctor once. Until they figured out what I was about and fired me immediately. I'm confident. I'm freaking confident. How dare you question me? All right, man. All right.
What's the difference, I wonder?
What's the difference, you wonder? All right, arrogance is when you're not actually confident and you're just mean to people and condescend to them because you think you know better than them. Arrogance can partially be defined as, I love the smell of my own farts, among many other characteristics that are part of arrogance.
Could it be that you simply don't think I have the right to be confident in myself?
Once again, I think your reading comprehension might be a little lacking here. They said your tone is filled with such arrogance. You respond, or is it that you think I don't have the right to be confident? No, they called you arrogant, and that was a very valid assessment. Imagine somebody calls you arrogant, and you're like, what? You just think I don't deserve to be confident. That's what that is. This sort of deflection doesn't work with me. When people try to turn it around on you and make you the bad guy and themselves the victim, beware of that. You have a genuine criticism of somebody and instead they're like, oh, I can't believe it, and then they try to play the victim. Dude, get out of here.
And therefore assume I'm arrogant because I'm standing up for my rights?
Yeah, normally we call people arrogant when they're just standing up for their rights. Next. You have the same look on your face in every one of these videos. Alright, so the comment that she's responding to is not shown, but based on what she's about to say, I can tell you that the comment reads something like, does the hospital that you work at know that you're going around spreading this dangerous misinformation? And then she's going to respond with something like this.
Why, yes. Yes, they do. My GMC number is 6077567, and you can report me to the GMC anytime you like. Of course, Loads of people have already tried it. Unfortunately, they didn't get anywhere, but you're welcome to have a go.
Loads of people have already tried to report you to the GMC and they didn't get anywhere. Because you're not a doctor. Here's how that call would go. Hello? Yes, I would like to report a doctor spreading dangerous medical misinformation online. Their GMC number is 867-5309. Once again, that number is 867-5309. Hello, this is the GMC. Ah, yes. We've got several reports of this person. Don't worry, they were only a doctor for about 10 minutes, and then we revoked their license. That's why nobody's getting anywhere, because you're not a doctor anymore.
As a fat person, I'm telling you, it is impossible to be healthy in a fat body.
We finally got through. We finally reached one, fam. We did it. That's one for us.
And here's why. For starters, how are we supposed to remain healthy when we are paid significantly less?
Oh, man. I thought we actually got through to one. But instead, she's going to say, how can we be healthy if we're paid less? I don't know. Poor people can't be healthy? What are you talking about? And also, correlation does not equal causation. If a lot of obese people are paid less, maybe it's because people living in a larger body are less likely to go after promotions and less likely to try to advance their career. Did you know there's also a positive correlation between IQ and salary?
And people in smaller bodies. Everybody knows, the richer you are, the better your health.
Well, I would say perhaps somebody who's more likely to pursue health would also be likely to pursue advancement. So you're implying that they might have been fat, and then only once they got rich, they were able to lose weight.
There's a reason why members of the royal family all live into their 90s.
Yeah, because they don't eat the same stupid poison crap that the rest of us do. They know better. Oh, the people want cake. Let them eat cake. Let them eat so much cake that it consumes them and they can no longer walk.
How are we supposed to be healthy when we're taught from infancy that being fat is one of the worst things that could happen to your body?
We're taught that from infancy. As soon as that baby comes out with all those little baby rolls, we already start fat shaming them, right? I am the doctor that just delivered your baby. I'm very happy to announce that it's a brand new, beautiful baby tub of lard. Look at that thing. Oh my God, it's covered in rolls. Oh, but ma'am, 'tis your own baby. Yeah, I know, yada, whatever, but there is a bunch of societal standards and crap that I have to adhere to. This dumb baby needs to know right away that I dislike it because of its morbid obesity. What's the BMI on that baby? Another baby going up for adoption because of fat phobia.
How are we supposed to remain healthy when the world is intent on destroying our self-confidence, our self-worth?
I hate when people use the phrase self-confidence. It's so redundant. How about just confidence?
And our self-esteem? How are we supposed to be healthy when nobody treats us with any respect?
So if you don't get treated with respect, you're going to go harm yourself by eating a bunch of processed chemical food. And I'm sure you all see that people like this that make all these excuses and blame everybody else for their own problems never get any results. Shocker, right? You shouldn't have a can't-do attitude. Giving up before you even start and blaming it on somebody else. I gained weight because people didn't respect me. What? What are you talking about? How about you start by respecting yourself?
When our fat bodies are pathologized and politicized? How are we supposed to remain healthy when our parents, our peers, our employers, our teachers, our healthcare professionals and our politicians can barely hide their disgust at our bodies?
How can you stay healthy when all these different groups can't hide their disgust for your body? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Who cares how other people feel about your body? You're going to continue to go off the rails because of the way that other people feel about you? That's called having a brittle spirit, man. And this world is going to eat you up and spit you out if you're like that. And it apparently already is. How can I take good care of myself when people are mean to me and said words? Words to me. Words, I tell you. Even sentences. Not just singular words. Full-on sentences they said to me. How am I supposed to cope with that? All I can do is eat all my feelings and become super bitter and spread a bunch of medical misinformation online. It's the only way to move forward from this. What are we doing? What are we doing, fam? Next.
You know, there's no real evidence that intentional weight loss improves your health in any long-term meaningful way.
Yeah, except for all those thousands of studies and common sense. You know all those stories of morbidly obese people who lost weight and they cured their diabetes, cured their joint pain, cured their fatigue, cured any number of stupid preventable diseases and symptoms?
But there is evidence that it causes harm.
It causes harm? How? Will you please elaborate?
Be it physically, mentally, emotionally.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, it causes harm. How does it physically cause harm to lose weight when you were obese before? Yeah, you know all that thigh rub that was benefiting you before? It's not going to benefit you anymore now that you've lost weight. You know all that insulin and crap that you used to have to take? You're not going to have to take that anymore.
Socially, financially.
It hurts you financially to lose weight. Oh yeah, all that money that you're going to save by not eating a bunch of fast food and restaurant garbage. Yeah, that'll be terrible. Oh right, it costs you a lot of money when you lose weight because you're going to be spending less than half as much on food now, cooking simple home-cooked meals that are very healthy for you.
The only reason that intentional weight loss as a concept exists
is to oppress you?
Is a means of oppressing fat people.
Oh man, I fucking called it, bro. The only reason that intentional weight loss exists is to oppress fat people. That is the only reason. What? Huh? Does anybody think before they speak, or they just open their mouth and a bunch of stuff just starts falling out? A, who the hell would want to oppress fat people? B, why? And C, how would the concept of intentional weight loss contribute to the oppression of fat people? No one's forcing anybody to go on a diet. Nobody's forcing anybody to lose weight. That is the most bizarre take ever. Like you're the center of the universe, you're Neo, and all the agents are trying to stop you from getting ahead. For some reason, for absolutely no reason at all. Everybody just wants to oppress you. The center of the universe, you. Hi, it's me. The center of the universe, it's me. One of these days I'll stop referencing that stupid song. Psych! I'm never going to stop referencing that stupid song.
The only reason that society is determined to oppress fat people is because anti-fatness is based on anti-blackness.
The only reason that society wants to oppress fat people is because anti-fatness is based on anti-blackness. What? You're connecting a lot of dots that shouldn't be connected here. You're pirouetting from one bar to the other on this mental gymnastics course. So society wants to oppress you because anti-fatness is based on anti-blackness. Literally none of those words go together or make any sense when strung together in sentence form. What? Let's just assume for a second that anti-fatness was based on anti-blackness. How does that make anything that you said true? It still doesn't. It still doesn't mean anything.
Fat bodies are considered unproductive and therefore no use to the economy.
I think all the food companies would disagree. They love y'all at the size that you're at. Which is why they likely funded that BS study back in the day saying that 95% of diets fail. That was such a bunk study, dude. If you Google 95% of diets fail debunked, you'll find plenty of articles going into the details about why that's nonsense.
And fatness is considered a sign of weakness. Please do not spend your money on something that does not work long term and will not benefit you even if it does.
Bear in mind that this person originally started their online presence as someone who was trying to lose weight. Kiana Doherty made a video about this person a while back. It was a good one. And it chronicled perfectly how she tried to lose weight, had some issues doing so, and then just became so bitter and angry at everyone else and started spitting all this negative nonsense propaganda about weight loss. Just because you couldn't do something doesn't mean that nobody else can do it either. And it was really because you were going at it in the wrong way. You were probably trying some of those fad diets that everybody else thinks is representative of diets in general. When most people hear the word diet, they think of those stupid rice cake fad diets that don't have enough protein, don't have enough animal fat. They're like, here, eat some rice cakes and 3 pieces of lettuce. And then after like an hour of that, you're like, give me some real food.
Instead, help make this world a safer place for fat people to exist.
I believe it is the responsibility of the individual to make the world a safe place for them to live. What I mean by that is getting a job so you have a place to live and you can afford to eat, taking good care of your body and eating healthy, and all the other crap that is your personal responsibility to take care of. So those were just a few clips from our good friend Fat Doctor UK. My mind is expanded. No, more like my mind is blown. This person says everything with such conviction. You have to be careful about that because it's really easy to get caught up in lies from charlatans when they speak it with conviction. Like someone could just make a video being like, gravity is not real, and let me tell you why. The systemic biases and the oppression of the marginalized, blah, 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 blah. Some people, when they hear enough of those stupid buzzwords, will actually think that this person knows what the hell they're talking about, especially if they're speaking with confidence. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.